It's 8:31. Time now for the news, weather and traffic, wherever you live.
Good morning, this is the news from Meridian. 3 people, including a 5-year-old boy, were taken to hospital after a house fire in Wiltshire this morning. The boy, his mother and a man were treated for the effects of breathing in smoke. Another child also received medical treatment at the scene of the fire in the village of Winterbourne Earls near Salisbury. More than 5,000 people in Dorset have signed a petition demanding more police patrols in rural areas of the county. Organisers started the petition because crime, particularly burglary, is on the increase. It'll be handed to Kenneth Clark, the Home Secretary, who's considering a request from Dorset's Chief Constable for almost 100 extra officers. A mother's hopes of getting back her children from her Egyptian husband seem to be fading. The 3 children abducted by their father, Ahmed Arafat, from Crawley in Sussex, have been found living with him in Egypt. Police say the children are safe. They have Egyptian nationality and little can be done. Environmentalists are claiming victory over plans to relieve one of the region's worst traffic bottlenecks at Hindhead in Surrey. Instead of cutting through the beauty spot at Devil's Punch Bowl, the new bypass will run underground through a mile-long tunnel. It follows a campaign by the National Trust and local protesters, including actress Lisa Goddard. The Department of Transport say the new plan will provide a congestion-free route and preserve an area of natural beauty. 4 engineers from Westland Aerospace at Cowes have won almost £300,000 on the pools. The 4 who aren't being named all work in the same department of the factory. Now a look at the weather. After this morning's cold, frosty start, it'll be a dry day with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will rise to 9 degrees Celsius, but it'll feel quite chilly in the light wind. Travel. This morning's frosty start is making roads icy in places. Drivers should take care. Due to an earlier accident on the M3 in Surrey, there are traffic queues in both directions between junctions 2 and 3, the M25 and Lightwater. This is because a lorry hit a central reservation. Still with the M3 in Hampshire, between Basingstoke and Winchester, ongoing road resurfacing has led to lane closures. On the M4 in Berkshire, there are major roadworks between the M25 turn-off and Langley. That's between junctions 4B and 5. There are also lane closures on the M23 between Crawley and Pease Pottage. The A3 and M27 are free from problems. That's all the Meridian news for now. We'll have bulletins throughout the morning. Our next news will be at 9:55.
Good to see you again, almost 25 to 9.
And those are the national and international headlines so far this morning. The time now is 8:32. Time to catch up with the travel and weather wherever you're starting your day.
Good morning, this is the news from Meridian. This morning's heavy rain is causing havoc for drivers across the region. There are reports of flooding on the M27 and a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit is in force. Several cars have broken down, causing hold-ups. The police say that visibility is severely restricted and drivers should keep their speeds down. In other road news, a contraflow is now in operation on the M4 in Berkshire between junctions 4B and 5, the M25 and Langley. On the M3, there are lane closures each way between Basingstoke and Winchester. Those are junctions 7 and 8. Other news, shops in Basingstoke are today launching a child watch scheme to look after young children who get lost while out with their parents. The scheme follows the murder on Merseyside of toddler James Bulger. A number of shops will display a special logo and act as a safe haven for lost children until they're reunited with their parents. The man being held in connection with attacks on horses in the south is still being questioned by police at Alton. He was arrested in Sussex yesterday and taken to Alton, where detectives are coordinating the hunt for the attacker. There's a jobs boom in the south, and it's all due to unemployment. The Employment Service in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight has taken on 500 new staff because unemployment has trebled. Martin Lowe reports.
Like all of his new colleagues, Denzel Duff owes his job to spiralling unemployment. The service has had to double its workforce to cope with unemployment, which has rocketed from 26 to 83,000.
Well, yes, there is some regret to see so many people in the same position as I was before. But one of the things I've like about it is that I can now try and help them to get back into employment.
With unemployment trebling in the region, trying to help the jobless find work is one of the few growth industries. Martin Lowe in Havant for Meridian News.
Scotland Yard officers will tonight reconstruct the last moments in the life of Berkshire woman Jean Bradley, the insurance worker from Crowthorne, knifed to death in London. Mr. Bradley was getting into her car near Acton Tube Station when she was murdered. And a look at that weather. It's grey, wet and foggy this morning. The widespread rain will be heavy at times. This may cause flooding in parts of East Dorset, Hampshire and West Sussex. It should, though, clear away this afternoon to leave brighter skies. Well, that's all the Meridian News for now. We'll have bulletins throughout the morning. Our next news will be at 9:55.
Hi, welcome back. Now, our next guest, well, she's an inspiration to millions of women in America.
Those are the main news stories. It's 8:31. Time now for the news, weather and traffic, wherever you live.
Good morning, this is Meridian News, I'm Susie Grant. 2 men are due before magistrates this morning charged in connection with the seizure of 800 canisters of CS gas at Dover. The canisters were found during a routine search of vehicles leaving a P&O ferry from Ostend. A third man's been released on police bail. Kent police have arrested 2 men in connection with a vicious doorstep mugging in Gillingham. Detectives say a man was punched and kicked repeatedly before the attackers stole £1,200 in cash from his pocket. Almost 1,000 women requested HIV tests after revelations that a Kent hospital consultant has the AIDS virus. They contacted the hotline of All Saints Hospital and the Alexandra Private Clinic in Chatham, where Terence Shuttleworth worked. The Medway Health Authority won't reveal if any of the tests carried out have proved positive. Ram raiders have smashed their way into a shop in Rainham. They reversed a dark-coloured Range Rover into the front door of the Invicta Co-op in Station Road. They escaped with cigarettes and spirits. 3 children who were abducted by their father from Crawley in Sussex have been traced to Egypt. But police say there's little prospect of Abdullah, Amina and Yasmin Arafat being returned to their mother, Jane Moore. They're now living in a village outside Cairo, and as they're Egyptian citizens, there's nothing police can do. The Department of Transport has confirmed that the A20 between Dover and Folkestone will open on October the 3rd. The £60 million dual carriageway was expected to be completed during the summer, but Transport Minister Kenneth Carlisle has blamed the delay on the discovery of a Bronze Age boat alongside the road. Archaeological teams were allowed in to excavate the site. Now this morning's travel for you. On the A2 in Kent, a broken down crane on the South Orbital roundabout is causing delays all round. And on the A20, Folkestone Road in Dover, a lorry's broken down close to the roundabout near the Priory service station. It's likely to be there till later this morning. On the trains, from tomorrow morning till April the 18th, services between Ashford and Folkestone will be replaced by a bus service because of essential track work that needs carrying out. Today's weather, chilly again this morning. Apart from a few light showers over Kent, it will be mainly dry though, and there will be some sunny spells. Top temperatures 8 Celsius, that's 45 Fahrenheit. And that's all from Meridian for now. We'll be back with more news at 5 to 10.
Good to see you again, almost 25 to 9. It's a little known but true fact that 1 in every 10 couples in Britain cannot have children.
And those are the national and international headlines so far this morning. The time now is 8:32. Time to catch up with the travel and weather wherever you're starting your day.
Good morning, this is Meridian News, I'm Susie Grant. Police are appealing to the public to help them identify the body of a man found in a burnt-out car at an isolated spot near Detling in Kent. The body was discovered in the remains of a red Metro car in Coldblow Lane. A post-mortem carried out into the cause of death has been inconclusive. The man's believed to have been aged between 35 and 50 and between 5'6" and 6 feet tall. A 45-year-old Folkestone man will appear before magistrates today charged with murder after a man was stabbed to death in the town. The victim died after he was stabbed in the stomach during an incident at a house in Augusta Gardens. Police have released a video of a robbery at an off-licence in Southborough where the shop assistant was assaulted. 2 masked men burst into the wine rack in London Road and one of them vaulted over the counter. They hit the male shop assistant over the head with a wooden chair leg and forced him to open the 2 tills. They also made him open the safe, but only escaped with £72. Police in Sussex have recovered thousands of pounds worth of property stolen from British Telecom. The goods, including telephones and coin-box phones, were seized after raids on homes in Brighton and Hove. 3 men from Brighton have been released on police bail. Parts of the Medway estuary have been excluded from its protection as a conservation area. The government has agreed in principle to save the wetland from development because of its unusual wildlife, but it says it will not include Lapel Bank between Sheerness and Queenborough. The decision has been criticised by the Kent Trust for Nature Conservation. The 2 remaining Bluebird speedboats have found their final dry dock in a Kent museum. They've been installed at the Filching Manor Motor Museum, where 2 other Bluebirds are already on show. Both the new speedboats are record breakers, having been used by Gina Campbell, daughter of the Bluebird's most famous pilots. And today's travel for you, only one incident so far. The M2 in Kent, junction 7, Brenley Corner. Roadworks on the coastbound carriageway of the A299 likely to cause delays on the M2 all morning. Nothing to report on the trains or the ferries so far, though. And today's weather for you, more rain, I'm afraid, spreading northeast to all areas this morning and becoming quite heavy at times. It will clear during the evening. Top temperatures 9 Celsius, that's 47 Fahrenheit. And that's all from Meridian for now. We'll be back with another bulletin at 5 to 10.
Hi, welcome back. Now, our next guest, well, she's an inspiration to millions of women in America.